Thank you for explaining that, Josh. And yeah, we are looking for this matching funds situation if somebody's interested. My name is Steve Kelly. The company is Arganteal, and we're about automating DevOps automation. That's confusing on purpose, and I'll sort of explain it, and it will be applicable to smart cities applications as well as many others. Next. What is DevOps first? DevOps is the process of getting application changes into the real operating world. It's a basic software activity that's common to almost every industry segment. Currently, we're doing it with the Air Force, but an example in the banking sector might be the way everybody ran around to get the pandemic relief packages out into the marketplace overnight. Well, there's some development there, but there's a whole lot of DevOps to get it out into the world. And in the smart cities area, I'm sure there are places where you're deploying new or custom software, and that's the same project as all the rest of them. Next. We work with Gartner to position our company and understand where we're going. This is their explanation of where the market sits. Agile development has brought order and sense to the development side of the house, but it hasn't really organized the operational side of the house. And so things tend to get stuck when they go over this wall. Gartner thinks that's about a $6 billion opportunity, and that's precisely where we are focused. Next. So how do we do it? We have a patented compiler that you feed with libraries. The libraries come from lots of places and get perfected basically by the customer using scripts that they have already written before for some other purpose. Once you have those two things perfected, then all you have to do is supply a high-level workflow and project data, and that compiler will generate the automated, orchestrated deployment execution scripts. This is the nasty line-by-line commands that are used to put things in the cloud or other platforms, and occupies a tremendous amount of engineering effort each year. So custom libraries can be classified, they can be public or private, and they can be mixed and inform the patented compiler. And those libraries start by reusing the scripts you already have. When this works, we automate DevOps orchestration, not just retrieve and rewrite scripts. Now, next. What does Gartner have to say about this? Well, they really don't see anybody else doing what we're doing. There's lots of automation in this space, but not at this abstraction level. That provides us a competitive position and advantage against all of the incumbents that are there, because starting with the scripts you already have is going to resonate in that marketplace. Everyone else, one way or another, is talking about how to start over to get this job done. And again, it's roughly a $6 billion market. Next. What are the benefits to using it? Well, first, it's the same benefit I mentioned. Starting with the scripts you already have, engineers don't like to change languages. But the next one is these libraries require some extra work to make them more perfect than what you typically run in a single script. And what that does is capture the tribal detail that walks around in the heads of some of your employees. And when they leave, you find out you have a deficit. By focusing on the library approach, you pretty well eliminate that problem. And finally, this is a way to organize fairly large DevOps teams, because your subject matter experts perfect the libraries, and then other people with a little less skill set can use them. Obviously, it eliminates human error with automation, and it is a productivity tool, and the productivity will continue to grow over time as your library grows. Next. Here's our traction. We're working with the Air Force. We had the compiler before we started with the Air Force. The Air Force money is to make ease of use tools around the compiler so that everyone can use it. There's a couple of Air Force contractors who are waiting to use our technology, and we're introducing the first version of the final product this month. In the commercial space, we also are an elite partner with Worldwide Technologies. The reason for that is the level of talent we brought to Worldwide and the potential of our technology and what they're doing. And finally, we've signed a partnership agreement with Polyverse. Polyverse makes Linux servers immune to zero-day threats. There's a lot of Linux servers out there. And so if you're doing one or two, you can do it by hand. But if you're trying to install this capability across 10,000 servers, you need to automate the installation process. And that's what we do for Polyverse and their customers. Next. What does the Air Force say about what we're doing? Arganteal can bridge the gap between legacy processes and modern techniques, can lower the barrier of entry to adopting new technologies, and gee, the libraries are reusable. Same things that we're saying, same things that Gartner's saying. Here's one more. It allows application development to occur in an unclassified environment, and then the classified material is added when the compiler runs. So those configurations stay in the enclave, and this is a big thing for getting uniformity between unclassified and classified settings. Next. So we're looking, this is a matching funds deal. We would like $750,000 to buy 7% of Arganteal. That doesn't have to be spent if the Air Force doesn't match it. And so we need a letter of intent. We will use that about 50-50 for sales and marketing and for additional development of the workflow capability. And that will position us for a Series A in 2022. We are profitable and cash flow positive now, so we're not dependent on that 2022 date, but I think we'll be ready for that. So that's Arganteal. Hopefully now you know what automating DevOps automation means. And if you're interested, please contact us or one of the deep tech people and we'll talk further. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Opening up the floor for questions for Steve Kelly and Arganteal.
Hi, this is Tina from GC Ventures. Question for you around how do you envision the revenue model and how scalable is this if you apply to one client and you want to move and expand globally and that kind of thing, you know, is it that easily expandable?
Yeah, it'll be taken to market initially through a SaaS model. But rather than building our own SaaS, we really want to use the Azure, AWS, and Ansible marketplaces, Red Hat marketplace, so that we'll have a free trial version on our website, and then you'll go to those marketplaces to buy that. And of course, that gets us really good exposure that we can't really pay for any other way. Bigger corporations, and that's the entry point. Larger organizations will want to have their own version of it, and that will be an annual licensing methodology. Obviously, Air Force is going to want some of their own versions.
Steve, question. Thanks for presenting. When you say their own versions, customizing, since the scripts, sounds like you're script agnostic, what level of customization would be needed?
Oh, the issue will be, yeah, we'll put a version on their site and then we'll maintain it for them. But what's in the library becomes a proprietary situation. Some people are going to want all their libraries proprietary. Some people will share them. Some people will lease some of them from us. So there's another revenue model. But what that library looks like may be proprietary to certain licensees.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
I mean, it is to an extent in the SaaS model, but they'll get to where no, we don't want to see this anywhere out there. So.
Hey, Steve, Cassandra from Upheaval Investments. Just curious if what tech stacks it's compatible across or if there's any that are currently excluded.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that question. We are platform agnostic and we are language agnostic. So we'll work on any cloud platform, including private ones like VMware and that sort of thing. We may not have all the code to begin with, but the people that want to do that particular platform probably have a big chunk of that code already. And then any language, Puppet, Chef, Terraform, Ansible, SaltStack, Lua. There's the weird thing about this market is there's like 20, Java and Python, 20 languages that people use. And that's our claim to fame, is we are language agnostic and platform agnostic.
Steve, there's a question in the Q&A from Kenneth Fax asking, is it correct to assume that this is ITAR?
It is not yet. How long we can avoid that? We're working with the enterprise services side of the Air Force, so that does not lead us directly to ITAR, but I wouldn't be surprised if it comes up down the road.
A little background on ITAR. ITAR is International Trade Armistice Restrictions, I believe, and it has to do with whether or not material is of a level of standing where it can't be shared outside of the U.S.
And the other thing is, I have a feeling some of the libraries will be ITAR, but maybe the product won't.
Okay.